all you nubs. My name is Maddie, and I'm from the NoobTube. And today, I'm going to be showing you guys a bunch of stuff that I know about one of my favorite mods. Today, I'm going to be doing mine on the Antimension from CrazyCraft. CrazyCraft is honestly, like, it's my favorite mod. I love everything there is about it. I know a ton of stuff about it. And I know all about the Antimensions. And the Antimensions make me want to freaking pull my hair out because they're super annoying like this. I mean, I tried to put signs by all these, but then they all started eating the signs, and it wasn't good. So, I gave up, and I'm just going to put all this down now. So, we're going to start out by talking about the brown ant mod. Well, just the brown ant dimensions. So, basically to start off, every time you click on one of these different ants, you're going to go into each of their dimensions. Now, in each of their dimensions, there's something super important about each of them. The probably most used one is the brown ant dimension. Then, like the red ant, then it kind of goes down. So I have, this one is the brown ant, this one's the red ant, the rainbow ant, the unstable ant, as you can kind of tell. This is what the unstable ants look like, by the way. Red ants, obviously, rainbow, brown, and then, I mean, termites, which are just these things, and they make me want to pull my hair out. This is the termite nest, by the way. And termites, just in case you don't know, they will turn wood into dirt, like this poor villager's house who got completely wrecked. And all of my signs that I was trying to make this a beautiful little mod showcase, but I can't even do that because they just wrecked my day. So, anyways, we're going to get right into it. So, I'm going to start out with the brown ant dimension. So, in the brown ant dimension, it's probably most well known for the fact that it gives you the goodness tree, quote unquote, the goodness tree. There's a ton of different names for it, but that's what I call it at least. It is a gigantic, huge tree made out of all the different kinds of blocks that you can hope for. It's got emerald, gold, diamond, titanium, uranium, ruby, amethyst, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't even just have that, though. It's also got the tree, like, it's guarded by the king, by the way. I don't think that most people realize that. And then it's also got the queen tree. And the queen tree is like, it's basically the same exact thing, except that one's guarded by the queen. It doesn't even have just that stuff, though. It's completely got duplication trees, which are another huge aspect of it. And the duplication trees, I'll show you those later, too. They're kind of hard to find, but they're super important. So I'm going to be jumping into these dimensions each time after I explain them, though. So that's the brown ant dimension, and that's what those look like. And all you have to do is right-click on the ant, and it'll take you to that dimension. And then to get back into the overworld, you have to right-click on the same ant of the same dimension. So, say if you go into the brown ant dimension, you'd have to click on a brown ant while in the dimension. Okay, so next one is the red ants. So red ants are these little guys. Their dimension is mainly known as the minor dimension because it's got tons of the dried spawn eggs in them, and those are some of the most important things ever. One of the most important things that you want to try and get is the Easter bunny, and if you want to try and find an Easter bunny spawn egg, then it's best to look in that dimension for them. Easter bunnies, I'm probably going to get into those into another video, but they are basically like, they're a tiny little bunny that once you get a spawn egg for them and you tame them, then they're going to spawn a bunch of eggs for you of all different kinds of things that are an ore spawn. So, super important, minor dimension, got a bunch of different bosses in it, got a bunch of different things you need in it, all that kind of stuff. Next one is going to be the unstable ants. So, unstable ant dimension is basically known as the, like, mining dimension. Or, not the mining dimension, sorry, that was the other one. I'm kind of blinking. Or, no, this is the rainbow ant nest. Yeah, no, rainbow ant. That's what we're doing. Rainbow ant, villager dimension. So, these guys. Same thing, right-click them, go into the dimension. Mainly what you're going to find in there is just a ton of villages. I'm not even kidding, like, every single time you turn around, there's going to be a village. And there's tons of bosses in there. There's a huge, like if you're into like Robo Pounders and all those kind of like the Robo kind of bots and stuff like that, they're in that dimension mainly. You can find them by flying around. Those ones are mainly, like, it's not there's nothing super specific that you find in that one. It's just mainly called the villager dimension because you find villages every time you turn around. Next one we're going to go to is the unstable ant. So the unstable ant, that one's mainly known as the danger dimension because every time you go in there, you're probably going to die. There's tons of super hard bosses, and if you're interested in getting something like, that's actually got the tier 6 dungeon that you want to go in. If you're trying to get all of the Royal Guardian armor, you're going to have to go into the Unstable Ant dimension because that's got the tier 6 things in it. And the tier 6 dungeons are super hard to find, but if I find them while I'm in there, I'll show them to you guys. They're super important though. You're probably going to spend most of the time in the brown ant, red ant, and the unstable ant dimension. Then finally, we have the stupid little termites. I hate these things so much. This dimension is extremely hard to figure out and navigate, but it's also got a bunch of really important stuff in it. Like, if you're trying to get the Big Bertha sword, then you have to go into the termite dimension and beat some of the bosses in there. And it's super hard to beat them all because they're super, super difficult. And every single time you go into the termite dimension, as you go in there, you lose all of the stuff that you have on your person. So every single thing that you take with you, I think the exception is a backpack. You can try to go in with a backpack. Sometimes it depends on whatever update you're going in. But if you go in with the backpack on your back, then you should be able to take some stuff or whatever you put in the backpack. But depending on the update, you might not be able to at the same time. Sometimes you can use girlfriends too, or boyfriends, whatever you have. If you give them something and then you teleport to the dimension, they should come with you and then have whatever's in their hand, that kind of stuff. But the termites, basically, that dimension is just horrid, and termites are insane and they'll ruin your house, so just be careful with what you do with those. Okay, so now that I've explained all the dimensions, we're going to head into each one. So we'll start out with the brown ant, and all you do is right-click it, and then it's going to take you a second to reload, or, yeah, just get into the actual dimension. These are all super, super important, though. That's why, and there aren't that many mod showcases about them, so I know a lot about each one of them, so I'm just trying to give you a little perspective on each one of them. So, yeah, I forgot. There's also a lot of lag when you first log in. These also have these apple trees. These apple trees, well, there's apple and cherry trees. They're gonna start despawning as soon as you come in. The oh yeah, this is an apple tree. And actually in the apple trees usually they have, yeah, look, okay, so they have the OMG don't do it. Yeah, just trust me when I say this, don't click on these unless you're in a very open area where you don't want anything getting destroyed. Okay, so these actually drop golden apples, they drop regular apples, and they even drop god apples if you're lucky enough. This is known for the huge, spectacular, amazing trees. They have these, which are sky trees, and if you actually, these ones are interesting because if you hit the bottom block, then usually the entire tree breaks. Yeah, see, like that. So if you're looking for some easy wood, then I would go for these bad boys. Okay, so then usually these ones are hard to, like, they're not hard to navigate around, but it's just going to take you a while if you're looking for very specific things. This is where you will find duplicator trees. Duplicator trees are only about 3 blocks high. They're extremely hard to find, but you will know them when you see them. And then this is also where the goodness tree is. The goodness tree, I already told you about that in the beginning. Huge spawns. It's amazing, spectacular, all that you want to know. Now we're going to head into the red ant dimension. Into the red ant dimension, this is the one that's all about the mining dimension. So in this one, you're going to be surrounded by, you'll be completely surrounded by mountains with huge stones in them, and all around them is going to be spawn eggs, or, well, the dry spawn eggs that you have to combine with, depending on what update you're in. It's either going to be just a bucket of water, or it's going to be a bucket of water and a piece of stone. I know the newer updates usually have to use the stone, so don't quote me on that. But, so, yeah, like I said, you're going to be surrounded by huge mountains. And if it'll load in for me really quick. Actually, usually lava spawns too. Sorry about the lag. It's just the rendering. Okay, so let me see if I can find one for you really quick. They spawn in like these kind of things. You're gonna find spawn eggs, or the dry spawn eggs, all over the walls and stuff. Like, You'll see them all through in here. And this is where you're going to want to find your Easter Bunny eggs. This is where you're going to want to find all the eggs, honestly. But just trust me when I say that if you want a majority of the spawn eggs that you want, you're going to have to go into this dimension because... oh, and they do have dinosaurs all around, and they're super cute, and it makes me happy because some of them like this one's my favorite. Okay, so now that we did the red ant dimension, there's not that much. It's mainly just the mining dimension. That's all you gotta know. So now we're gonna go into the rainbow ant dimension. I think rainbow ants are super cute, but I'm gonna actually show you what they're like. Oh, and you have to click it with an open hand. I forgot to mention that. If you don't click on the ant with an open hand, then you will not spawn into that dimension. I promise, 100%. It's not gonna work. Okay. See, look, we already spawned into a village. This is what I meant by, this is the village dimension. Every single time you turn around, you're going to be in a village. They have cherry trees and, these ones are mainly cherry trees, but you can also find the apple trees too. Okay, so you're already spawned into a village. So you got this village here, and then I promise is, like, sorry about the lag, by the way. I know it's probably RIPing your mind right now, but it's the best I can do when you're first rendering into a, area. But I promise, like, there's not that much, like, that you can find in here. It's mainly just the robo pounders and the robo, builders, stuff like that, all that kind of jazz. Okay, so now we're going to take you into the unstable ant dimension. Unstable ant dimension, this is the probably second most you will be in the entire time, just because the unstable ant dimension is the danger dimension. You are going to hate this dimension, you're going to love it, it's going to be super important to you, but it's also going to be probably the root of your demise. This dimension, you're going to find the tier 6 dungeons, and that's where you're going to find either the Queen Guardian, or the Queen armor, or the Royal Guardian armor. And you're going to want both of those, or either of those. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one you have. Either way, you're going to want to have either of those when you are fighting with the, when you are fighting the king or the queen. Because, trust me when I say it is one of the hardest things you're ever going to do. Because they spawn in with 6,000 health. It's either 6,000 or 7,000, I don't really remember. But, trust me when I say they hit like a truck. And it's absolutely impossible for you to do anything. Okay, sorry about that. I had to relog because, like, there's so much lag when it comes to this dimension because it's literally, there's danger absolutely everywhere. Everywhere you turn, something's going to want to kill you. Okay, so this is the unstable ant dimension. Okay, here's a little bit. These are creeping horrors, fireflies, there's weird little trees everywhere. Dead trees, actually. It makes you want to cry. They're actually, okay, so these are floating islands, and you can find these, spawning everywhere. You can find spawn eggs for them as well, too. Sorry about that. And so, I'm gonna fly around until I can find one of the dungeons. It's not gonna be, probably not gonna be a tier 6, because tier 6 ones you're gonna have to fly around for a while to find. But I'm gonna find one of the dungeons, and then I'm gonna show you what they look like. The tier 6 dungeons are the ones that you're gonna want to find in order to actually get Royal Guardian armor, but other ones give you other types of loot. Also, instead of just like Royal Guardian armor, they also give you Prince and Princess spawn eggs at the same time, depending on whichever one you go into, obviously. So if you go into the King one, then you're going to get a Prince, and if you go into the Queen one, you're going to get a Princess, but hold on. Oh no, that is, okay, that freaked me out for a second. So, the certain floating islands, like, you can get spawn eggs for floating islands, you can get, like, seeds for them and stuff like that, and you can spawn them in the overworld, too. And they have these under them, these are dark floating islands. And then there are light floating islands, too, but those ones are harder to find. Those are goldfish. Where are these? Is this one? No, that's another doohickey. Okay, well, I'll just come back to you guys when I find one of the things. Oh, here's a light floating island, by the way. These are more like mushroom islands, though. I like these ones more. I like the light floating islands. They make me happy. And they're more rare, so you know, brownie points. Imagine that this place spawns stinkies. Stinkies are cute, but I'll get into them in another mod too. Aha, finally! Okay, yes. So this is not a tier 6 dungeon, but this is a tier 4 dungeon. So, you get into each one of the dungeons by going in by certain levels. There's only literally one spawn in each of the bedrock. Each of the chests and the levels gets, like, you get better stuff as you go down. Let me see what the opening. There's this one. So this one's Allosaurus, then you go to T-Rex. These are where the spawners are, by the way. If you want any chance of actually getting through these, you have to get rid of all the spawners. But no, so you can only get through each of the levels by getting through the bedrock. Basilisks are terrible, by the way. These things are going to make you want to freaking die, because going through them is not fun. And then Hercules beetles. And then, oh, these are the teleportation blocks, so once you actually finish the dungeon, in the tier 6 dungeons, the actual bottom tier is going to have, what's it called in the bottom? It's going to have the armor in the bottom. These are just the, like, this is literally the outside. You are not going to have fun getting through these. And then this is the bottom where the Emperor Scorpions are. These are a pain in the butts to get through, but, I mean, you need all of this stuff in order to actually win with the final bosses. It's a huge deal, but trust me when I say it's actually super worth it. Okay, so that's today's mod showcase. I am Maddie from the Noob Tube, and I'm going to be doing more of these. Not necessarily on the ant mod, though. I mean, that was pretty much just the topic for today. If you have questions, you can ask them down below in the comment section, and then I'll be happy to answer them for you. Leave any suggestions, comments, whatever, you know. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Goodbye!